The 2022 NFL Draft is roughly 2 weeks away. It's going to be here before you guys know it. And we here at Chat Sports, as we've done for years, are going to be your number one spot for every round and every pick of this year's draft. Unlike ESPN, NFL Network, and the others, we'll actually break down every single pick that happens. None of that, well, we're not going to do day 3 because we don't know what we're talking about, or cutting away for an hour straight to never talk about a prospect. ESPN, I hate that coverage. That's why I ensure it doesn't happen here at Chat Sports. So if you want the best coverage of this year's draft, subscribe right now at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Time now for my latest 2022 NFL mock draft. You might have heard the rumors out there around, could Travon Walker really go number 1 overall? I don't like that idea, but I wanted to explore, how does the mock go if Walker does go number 1? How could that cause a potential ripple effect? So Walker is the pick here at number 1 overall. As a reminder, I don't believe in doing mocks for what I would do. I don't think that many people care about. That's what prospect rankings, what big boards are for. I want to do what teams could do and explore different scenarios. That's what the whole purpose of a mock draft is. In this case, Walker goes number 1, which I would not like. He's a great athlete. Don't get me wrong on that front. But the film, the production, the play at Georgia is not better than Edge. It's not better than Kayvon Thibodeau. It's maybe edge 3 in this year's class. So I want an honest answer here. What's the % chance you guys think the Jags go rogue and take Travon Walker number 1 overall? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. It's actually very easy. If Walker goes 1, who goes 2? It's Aidan Hutchinson. And I wonder, by the way, because the leaks have all been the same. There's somebody out there to media saying, you know what? Trent Baalke likes Aldon Smith and compared that Walker. That's the same report. So somebody is the one putting it out there. I wonder if it's the Jags trying to get a team to bite on number 1 so they can move down. And maybe the line's enough to ensure they get Hutchinson instead of Walker at number 2, or any other pick they go instead. All right, moving on now. Number 3, Ike Ekwonu to the Houston Texans. Could be Evan Neal. Could be an edge rusher here. I know the Giants want to not have any linemen go off the board. I think you plug Ekwonu in at right tackle, and if you don't keep Laramie Tunsil beyond the next couple years, he could be your left tackle of the future. Sauce Gardner goes number 4 to the Jets. I feel good in saying Ahmad Gardner will play for a New York team this year. Now, I've got 4 chances in the top 10 to be right, so it's not a bold prediction. But I don't think it's past the Giants at 7. I don't think. So I'm going to put him here at 4 to the Jets. They could also go edge, by the way. Evan Neal to the Giants. They need O-line help in the worst way, and Evan Neal is just, if not better, than Ekwonu as a prospect, so that's a great pick. I believe that Kenny Pickett, and I reserve the right to change my mind, since we got a few days till the draft here after all. I believe that Pickett goes to Carolina. More than Malik Willis, who I like more, but fit is better for Pickett in Carolina. That team has to win right now. Malik Willis needs a year or more to get ready for the NFL. Pickett can help you better right now, and this is an organization fighting to save their jobs. Kayvon Thibodeau goes number 7. Not a receiver. Gardner's gone. Could be Kyle Hamilton here. So I'll take Giants number 7 for Kayvon Thibodeau. And I wanted to see what happened if Kyle Hamilton doesn't go top 10, which for the record, I think would be pretty damn stupid. Number 8, Garrett Wilson is the pick here for the Atlanta Falcons. They need all of the help. A receiver, a number 1 receiver, is certainly a need if you want to see what Marcus Mariota, whoever your long-term quarterback is, can do with the offense. There's Kyle Pitts, Cordero Patterson, and not much else. Who do you think is the most overrated NFL draft prospect this year? This is your chance to be a hater in the comments section. So head down there and let me know which prospect you think is the most overrated this year. Charles Cross, number 9 of the Seattle Seahawks, the pick from Mississippi State. He could go 9, 13, 16. I think somewhere in this range is his sweet spot. Let's get bold. How about Jameson Williams to the Jets? I've heard the buzz that there are teams, plural, that have Williams as the best receiver in this year's draft class. A lot of mocking of Garrett Wilson to them. He is gone. The Jets want some speed. That's why they're linked to Tyreek Hill. Get a big-time playmaker there once he's healthy. If Kyle Hamilton doesn't go top 10, by the way, I think it's stupid. He is the best prospect in this year's class. Argue with a wall. Well, not really, but that's just my opinion, I guess. Hamilton can do what you want at safety. He is an impact defensive player. Don't let one not great 40 time fool you. He is at his size a premier athlete. The Commanders would be lucky to have him. I continue to not change. Derek Stingley, number 12 to Minnesota. Fills a need. Great value. Great fit. Put it in ink for me. Jermaine Johnson, 13 to the Houston Texans. If they go tackle at 3, they'll probably go edge at 13 unless one of those other premier defensive players slides down. So I'm going to put Johnson in there to pair with Ike Ekwonu. Jordan Davis now goes 14 here to the Baltimore Ravens. There are valid concerns about Davis being a part-time player at Georgia, not being a third-down option. For the Ravens, I think that he's a great fit, and I think the athletic traits are indicative of, hey, he can be more than just that. I love the fit of Drake London for Philadelphia. I want a bigger-bodied outside receiver who's better than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Don't worry, guys. London can be that player. Trevor Penning now, number 16, out of Northern Iowa. He could go as high as 6 if the Panthers trade for a Jimmy Garoppolo or something and take a tackle off the board in round 1. But I don't see him getting past this 16-17 range with the Chargers coming up here in a minute. But first, I asked you overrated earlier. Now I want to know who is the most underrated NFL draft prospect this year. Head to the comment section and let me know. I'm going to put all the questions in the comment section today, so go find it and reply to it. Most underrated draft prospect this year. Number 17, Devin Lloyd. I don't have a great feel for what the Chargers are going to do, especially if Penning and Davis are off the board. Those are two of my preferred fits for them. Do you reach for Bernard Raymond? I'm not sold on Kenneth Murray. I don't think L.A. is either. You lose Kaiser White. Here's an impact defensive piece to continue to build that defense in the image of Brandon Staley, who doesn't always value linebackers that much, so I might be off there. Trent McDuffie, number 18 to Philadelphia. I think he's a great football player. I don't care about the arm length. He was sticky in coverage in college. I think that will continue in the NFL. Chris Olave, number 19, out of Ohio State. Let's get the Saints a good vertical threat who's better than Traquan Smith, etc. Olave could go as high as number 11 to the Commanders, by the way. I don't think the quarterback run happens this year. I don't think that's a likely outcome for this year's class. It's just not that good. So if Willis doesn't go 6 and nobody trades up for a QB, maybe the Saints take him. Maybe the Eagles pull a shocker. Probably not, but there aren't that many teams that need that QB. So I could absolutely see Willis falling, quote-unquote, to number 20. His film is still early, by the way, because he was bad down the stretch this year. Let's call it what it was. He wasn't a good football player, and his last 4 games at Liberty. I am sorry, but the traits are tantalizing, and Pittsburgh could be a really good fit for him with some stability overall in that organization. Again, if you haven't already, go subscribe. I asked you at the top of today's show. If you didn't do it right now. Subscribe to us here on YouTube for the entire 2022 NFL Draft. In the words of my good friend Mitchell Renz, we'll be live for 50 hours during the draft. Hit that big red button and subscribe. Andrew Booth, cornerback, Clemson. Patriots could go guard, maybe surprise at linebacker. Receiver is an option, but they need corner help after letting J.C. Jackson walk for reasons in the end. Zion Johnson is my pick to be the first guard taken in this year's class. And I think for Green Bay, he's a really good scheme fit. You want to run some zone stuff? Johnson's your guy. Great athlete. Played some left tackle at BC, but wasn't very good. Center reps at the Senior Bowl. I see left guard as his home in the NFL. George Karlaftis, who I never liked the top 8 hype around him, top 10 hype. Top 25, I can get on board with that one. And the Cardinals have to replace Chandler Jones still. For the second time ever, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones draft an Arkansas player. This time it's receiver, Treylon Burks, who maybe Green Bay, this is I think the sweet spot for Burks is 21 to 26 range. A lot of teams could go receiver there. Not all of them will, but a lot of teams could do it. And then you go find your guard and your offensive line help on day 2 if you are the Cowboys. I want you now to shout out your favorite team for me in the comments section. What team do you rep the most? Who do you just love? Let me know right now. Number 25, my guy, Kaiir Elam, out of Florida. He's an awesome football player. I think he's undervalued, and the Bills need a number 2 corner pretty badly. Kenyon Green, A&M to Tennessee. I think a good fit, by the way, for what they like to do on offense. A bit more power runs there to an extent behind Derrick Henry, but they do run some zone after all. Green should go round 1, I think. And there are a lot of teams, Packers, Cowboys, Bucks even maybe, that are in the market for guard help. Ndamukong Suh remains unsigned. Devontae Wyatt would be the replacement. And he and Vita Vea on the interior, that's so good and so dangerous on that front. Number 28, Christian Watson. Size-wise, speed-wise, he fits the typical threshold that the Packers love in their receivers. Instant impact-wise, he's not there. He should not go in round 1. He's not ready yet as a route runner with a big-time competition jump coming from North Dakota State. But he fits the Packers' profile, and if the Big Five are off the board, he will be receiver 6 or higher for at least some teams out there. Chiefs going Boye Mafe out of Minnesota. You got Frank Clark and not much else at edge. Mafe's got the traits to be an instant impact helper at edge. Jahan Dotson here, number 30 from Penn State. I think receiver and corner are the 2 areas to watch here, along with edge in round 1 for KC. Dotson, for a smaller guy, has such a unique ability to win above the rim in college, and he will benefit from having a better QB in the NFL. I have no idea where Tyler Linderbaum goes, but he can't get out of round 1. I know he's undersized, short arm length, I get it. And he's not going to be a fit for teams that run power offenses. If the Ravens don't take him, I don't think the Cowboys like him all that much. Eagles won't. Saints won't. Chargers won't. Steelers probably don't need a center. Patriots don't need a center right now, really. Packers maybe could be the surprise pick there. Arizona's got a starting center. The Bills are probably fine. Maybe Tennessee. And you start to see how, because it's positional value and scheme fit, how a top 10 player for me could slide down into back end of round 1. And if you take Aidan Hutchinson, if you're Detroit, why not take Daxton Hill at the back end of round 1? Double up on Michigan players and have your other starting safety locked in from that standpoint. Now we're going to get to my other picks, the guys in round 2 and 3 that teams don't have a first round pick. Before that, though, grade this for me. A, B, C, D, or F. How do you think I did in my latest mock draft, knowing that the plan was what if Travon Walker goes number 1? Some picks outside of round 1. The teams that don't have one, because I want to give you guys some love too. Tyler Smith. Bears need offensive line help. Maybe he's a guard to start, and if the Tevin Jenkins experiment fails at left tackle, try Tyler Smith there as he gets used to having passable technique, because it sucks right now from Tulsa. George Pickens from Georgia, number 42 to the Colts. If he's there, I think that team likes him a lot, and they need the receiver help. Travis Jones and Jaquan Brisker are both really good fits, I believe, for what those 2 teams are looking for, a nose guard and a safety. I like those matches if, of course, they're both still on the board. Abraham Lucas, 64 to the Denver Broncos. He's not a great run blocker. You might want to give him a year to develop, but he could be your right tackle of the future, and he is a great pass protector. Daniel Falele out of Minnesota here, number 86 overall to the Raiders. I know Trent Brown might scare you off of other edges or other big tackles, but the 3rd round's fine value. Cam Jurgens, who I've seen some round 2 hype on, was there in round 3 because I ran a sim for these because I'm not going to project 100 picks and then not show it to you. Center option, potential long-term starter, and D'Angelo Malone to help replace Von Miller for the Rams. That's an edge from Western Kentucky.